Now we have come to the part where everybody has to admit that I'm right. Chief did nothing wrong. He exercised his First Amendment right to say what he wanted. He exercised his Second Amendment right to fire off a bunch of rounds into the dirt. It wasn't even against the policy of the borough. Those are the facts on the ground. But as a result of the chief exercising his First and Second Amendment rights, he's been vilified, demonized. Groups like Oath Keepers and the Constitutional Sheriff and Police Officers Association have distanced themselves from what the chief said. Well, I read Stewart Rhodes' commentary on Adam Kokesh and his plans and how that dovetailed into Chief Kessler. And he's got a point. We don't need people going to Washington, D.C. armed. Okay? Like Lexington and Concord, we need to make them come to us. That way there will be no doubt in the eyes of anybody around the world who the aggressor is and who is simply standing up for their rights. So I agree with Mr. Rhodes on that. He says that Oath Keepers is preparing the battle space for what's to come. And I believe that that's a good mission. I believe that's an appropriate use of intellect and resources. However, there's something else that Stewart Rhodes isn't thinking about. When you dig in, preparing for an attack, you don't just fill up sandbags. Okay, you send out recon patrols to delay and harass and probe the enemy. We can't just sit back and just wait for them to attack. We have to be proactive. We have to go to Congress. We have to reach out to members of the active duty military, which Oath Keepers is doing a tremendous job at doing, buying the billboards outside of military bases with various messages on them. I truly do support that 100%. But we need to be more proactive. We need to go to Congress. We need to turn individual congressmen from the dark side as part of preparing the battle space. Because the more we can do that, the more minds we can change, the fewer congressmen or active duty military there will be who will allow, follow, or issue orders to kill American citizens or to detain them and put them into FEMA camps. My friend Pete Santilli over at the Guerrilla Media Network is kind of upset at Stewart Rhodes and Sheriff Mack and the lack of support that they've been giving to Chief Kessler. I would like to remind those gentlemen, Sheriff Mack and Stewart Rhodes, who their supporters are. They are not all Yale-educated lawyers. Part of the 3%. They're ordinary, blue-collar men and women that like to drink beer, raise hell, And yes, I imagine they cuss from time to time. That's who your membership is, Colonel Rhodes. Now, we need people from all walks of life to stand up against tyranny. We need people like Colonel Rhodes. We definitely need law enforcement from the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association to join us in this fight. And we need ordinary, everyday, Pabst Blue Ribbon swilling, truck driving, shotgun toting, Bible believing, red-blooded American Christians and red-blooded American Jews and red-blooded American Muslims. Anybody that believes in the Constitution and the guarantees in it that all men are created equal. Because it's not just Christians that are going to be suffering under a tyranny that's coming. It's everybody. Atheists as well. I mean, come on. The devil is a liar. He may promise you this or promise you that, but in the end, you're going to burn. And it's going to take the efforts of everybody. Yale lawyers to adequately represent us in front of the other lawyers in Congress, people that they will take seriously, and in the streets. We need the 3%. We all need to stand together as one. So as long as Chief Kessler or anybody else remains within the law, I fully support their right to express themselves in any way that they see fit. And Colonel Rhodes and Sheriff Mack, I would urge you to support Chief Kessler's right to say whatever he wants. You may not agree with it, but it is exactly that kind of speech that must be protected. Do you remember Skokie? The Klan wanted to, no, not the Klan, but neo-Nazis wanted to have a march through Skokie, which had a 40% Jewish population, and a good number of those people were Holocaust survivors. Well, as offensive as Nazi speech is, even the ACLU came to bat for them. And with good reason. Because you can see how the definition of terrorist, domestic terrorist, is being twisted to include veterans returning home from war, pro-lifers, Ron Paul supporters. We are the enemy now. It's going to make it very easy for them to censor our speech. Today it's Mark Kessler. Tomorrow, Colonel Rhodes, it's going to be you. Unless you stand up and support this man. You've got a tremendous organization in place. I consider myself an oath keeper, even though I've never had the $35 to send in to get my bumper sticker. But I completely agree with the mission of the organization. So you've got a great organization in place. And if you were to mobilize that organization in support of Chief Kessler's right to express himself in whatever way he sees fit, then we can push back against these liberal scumbags. We must push back against these liberal scumbags because, like I said, today it's Chief Mark Kessler, tomorrow it's you or me. Okay? Breakfast is served. Thank you for watching The Truth is Viral. I'm your host, Bob Powell. And until next time, as always, God bless, Semper Fi, and hoorah. Oh, I'm sure a lot of you have been straining to see what that says. It says, use a dish, wash that dish. Cook with a dish, wash that dish. You know, my wife always told me that I should be a teacher. Maybe I should have taught my kids how to read. I'll see y'all later.